Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for being here with us today on 90.9 The Bridge. Super excited as we are joined by Alex Izenberg via Zoom. And Alex, man, we've been playing Egyptian Cadillac, loving that track, and cannot thank you enough for taking the time to be with us here today.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Well, okay, so you've done a couple other albums. I mean, your kind of breakout debut was, with Harlequin and, Caravan Chateau in 2020. And now we've got I'm Not Here, which is due out on May 20th. And, we've gotten a couple songs, so Egyptian Cadillac and also Sorrows Blue Tapestry. And I've just got to say, man, like, now, and hopefully this you don't take this the wrong way because I have no idea how you feel about this actor, but aside from looking, like you could be related to Jake Gyllenhaal, I mean, you're pretty young, man, and you've got this timeless voice. I mean, you've been compared to people like Harry Nilsson and, Randy Newman. How do you feel about those comparisons?
Um, I think those are awesome comparisons, obviously. I mean, it's awesome. But when I read text on my phone, it's kind of like in like a Harry Potter movie when they open a book and all the text is moving around. That's kind of how I feel about text on the internet, and on my phone. So when I read stuff like that, I almost just go like, all right, like fine,
Yeah.
you know?
That's how I feel about social media in general, man.
Yeah, like it's cool, obviously. It's a brilliant like commodity or platform or whatever, but like it's also like what's actually like happening here.
Yeah,
So, but those are great comparisons. I love all those guys.
that's awesome. I mean, you can hear the influence a little bit, of course, but you definitely, I mean, you've made it all your own, and anybody who listens to the music, I mean, they can definitely feel that. But there are other mediums, like aside from the musicality, you also get the added bonus of music videos now. And if people haven't seen, so if you're a regular listener to The Bridge and you've heard Egyptian Cadillac a bunch, but you haven't yet watched the video, I would highly recommend that you take the time to do so because, again, it adds that next layer to a track that we wouldn't have otherwise had. And, I mean, you're in the video, and Ray Wise from Twin Peaks and various other things is also in the video. But how much creative control did you have there?
It was pretty open. I made it with my friends Nikki and Julie of Giraffe Studios, and they're connected to Tropico Studios where I made the record with Greg Hartunian, my producer. So we've been friends for years, and I just wanted to do it with them just because I felt safer that way. Because like it's really easy with like lighting to like look really cute or look like really ugly. And like I just felt like it was a safer bet to do it with people who I was close to as opposed to doing it with like a random person and then having like not turn out cool and having be like, dude, like that's it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, also I think the videos turned out cool. So I'm stoked on them.
Breathless darkness filled your eyes, photographs of all our memories. Goodbye, my dear, sail on by to the golden harbor, now that your soul is free. Breathless darkness, I know that I've been changing. Memories, our memories fading. You'll always be on my mind. distant lover, something between a child and a mother. Tell me, have your brown eyes ever seen breathless darkness? Our love is a mirage in the night, now making easy money. Though you're gone, honey, the nights come and you take my part. Our crimson hearts are just flashing stars, breathless darkness. I know that I've been changing. Memories, our memories fading. You'll always be on my mind, and I won't leave alive. I thought of you as a distant lover, something between a child and a mother. Tell me, have your brown eyes ever seen breathless darkness?
This is going to be a really deep question, this next one. But how did the Sphinx come into play? Because I love that cat. Like, was that someone's cat? I'm assuming. Like,
That was a hired actor cat
got it. Okay,
that was Nikki Draft's idea to go with the Egyptian theme.
I loved it. Do you
Yeah.
are you a cat person?
No, I mean, I admire cats,
Yeah,
but I'm a dog person all the way.
me too. I do have a soft spot for hairless cats, though, man. Like Sphinxes, Cornish Rexes. I saw that there, and that just was another bonus that set the whole video over the edge.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to take that. Sorry. There are a various. There's a lot more to the video though than Sphinx cats or Ray Wise. You also have this reoccurring theme between the artwork for the album and also the artwork that you use in the video, which is the mask. And can you talk about that mask? Because it's beautiful and it does lend a certain depth to the visuals. And, I mean, I've seen that you really admire the writer and theologian Alan Watts, who talks about like masks and how people use them. And so, can you talk about the symbolism with that mask?
I guess it's just my reaction in a way to like listening to so much music all the time and being such a big music fan. I'm not bragging about me listening to music. I didn't mean to make it sound like that, but like I'm a really big music fan. I feel like all my favorite music from like the 50s to like now was like made by one force, because like you see weird balances and like the successes of different artists, and it all seems to interplay with each other in a weird way. Like as if like the success or the musical success of an album from a musical standpoint is almost like the people who are making it getting like a cookie from the human or something. And I guess it was my response to like being curious about free will and like the mind. You know, Alan Watts mentioned like this was recorded in the 60s, but in the time of like humans that hasn't been like anything. But he said like people know as much about the human mind as we knew about space in the 1300s. So, you know, comments like that make you think like, well, what's actually happening? Like, why do people do what they do? Not even if it's a bad thing, like even if it's as simple as like standing up after a certain thought after being in bed, or you know. So yeah, I think it was just my reaction to kind of hermiting in the house. Hermiting, is that a word? Just being a hermit at home during COVID, and binging Alan Watts and Ryuichi Sakamoto, who I think is like the most brilliant, underrated composer ever.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar.
He did like the Revenant soundtrack, and he was in that band Yellow Magic Orchestra in the 80s.
Oh man, the Revenant soundtrack. That I'm familiar with, and that's intense.
Yeah, it's really good. It is intense, but it also has a really like resonant emotional core, which I think is really amazing. But yeah, it was just my reaction to like, I don't know, just thoughts I was having at the time.
1, 2, 1, 2. I can't make you care, Brother Judas, among whispers that divide my trouble. I can't make you turn or grow contented with yesterday's grace that was born from my laurels. Rain fell from the heavens with your crystal stay. Silence is the sound in my dreams of freedom. Kissing tears to make it better. Leaves keep falling from the sky, wiping tears from my eyes. 'Cause I'm scared I'm gonna lose you for good. I can't make you love the words you won't listen to from untenanted eyes between my depressions. Well, so alone I'll go with my heart kept too, taking back the time I'll speak in tongues. Rain fell from the heavens with your crystal stay. Silence is the sound in my dreams of freedom. kissing tears to make it better. Leaves keep falling from the sky, wiping tears from my eyes. 'Cause I'm scared I'm gonna lose you for good. Kissing tears to make it better, babe. Leaves keep falling from the sky, wiping tears from my eyes. 'Cause I'm scared I'm gonna lose you for good. Kissing tears to make it better. Leaves keep falling from the sky, wiping tears from my eyes. 'Cause I'm scared I'm gonna lose you for good. Kissing tears to make it better, babe. Leaves keep falling from the sky, wiping tears from my eyes. 'Cause I'm scared I'm gonna lose you for good.
At first listen, for someone who listens like to the new music, for instance, with Egyptian Cadillac or even Sorrows, I mean, there is that there is a certain like surface level accessibility to it at first where you're just like, yeah, there's this cool groove and it doesn't sound like anything else. And that makes me really interested in what's going on. And then there really is also then that depth once you sink into it. And a line that I kept reading, which on the internet, which, was going around in circles, you're he disappears completely while simultaneously revealing more of himself than ever before. This line is used over and over in the promotional work for this new album. So he disappears completely while simultaneously revealing more of himself than ever before. Does that resonate with you?
I love that line. I don't know who came up with that, but I remember reading that and I was like, that's pretty spot on. It kind of like simultaneously went completely over my head and also is like, that is exactly what it is. So yeah, I think yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, another line, an Alan Watts line that I saw that I had never heard before that really resonated was "You're under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago," and I can see that in your work in some ways. And I hope it's okay to talk about this. And if it's not, you just tell me and we'll move on to something else. But so May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we do this whole series called Sound Minds where we focus on, mental health and how it relates to music and what role music plays in like the regular listener's life, but also in musician's life. Like we did a whole series on like musicianship and mental health and the different aspects that there are in that role. And you've been pretty open about your mental health struggles. I mean, where would you be without music?
If I like didn't have a Spotify account, I would probably be in like a mental asylum right now. Um, yeah.
I hear that.
But yeah, I mean like music, the thing about music though too is it goes with that kind of the subject of what we were talking about with the mysterious elusiveness of the internet and how things can be weaponized and you don't really know by who. And you go into like a store and then like you hear a song and it hits you in like a weird way. And like I feel like people can be sensitive to music in that way. And um but on the flip side, I feel like music can be extremely therapeutic and healing. Um like remarkably therapeutic and healing. So
I agree. When did you start using music?
um
I mean, I guess even just surface level, like when did you start writing? Like when did you start using it as an outlet?
when I was like a teenager,
Yeah.
yeah. I used to like when I was a kid, I watched like Jimi Hendrix videos. He was like the guy. He still is the guy, but
Yeah,
like
that's a good choice.
I'm like I'm 31 now and like he was 27 when he died. So sometimes when I listen to him now, I'm just kind of like, what? Like I'm like I'm 4 years older than Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. That's
Yeah.
kinda wild, man. Well, and you still have a lot more like for us to continue like think about people consuming your music now, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, speaking of your music, I mean, you've used strings before. This is not a new thing. You know, we heard strings on Harlequin, but there seems to be, and it's said in some of the promo tier material that string and woodwind are going to play a pretty heavy role due to Dave Longstreth, who is, you know, of the Dirty Projectors. Is that, I mean, are they more so prevalent than you've used in the past? What do we have to look forward to? Or should we just wait and find out?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's not there aren't strings and woodwinds on all the songs. And also, all the woodwinds were done by Greg.
Awesome.
Um, David Longstreth just did the strings.
Okay.
But the songs that do have strings have, in my opinion, really beautiful arrangements. I think David is like a genius, and I think that, you know, people, when they think of him, at least when I would think of him, I thought, oh, just Dirty Projectors, like crazy art rock. But when I heard that song Two Doves off Bit Orca, I was like, who wrote these strings? And then I like reached out to him and apparently he did. And then we collaborated and that was really cool.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I tell you what, we're looking forward to the release. We've got these two songs. They've been a nice tease. And May 20th, we look forward to being able to hear I'm Not Here in its entirety. And Alex, if you're just now tuning in, we've been speaking today with Alex Izenberg, whose work, if you haven't had a chance to check out past albums, definitely take a chance to go and really just kind of fall into Harlequin and Caravan Chateau. But Alex, cannot thank you enough for the time that you've taken today, and we look forward to hearing new music.
Thank you.
2 1 2. All my years of lunacy have taught me that love remains. I'll hold her wings to find my way as the moonlight warm the moment. I sit and drink from the sea as my solitude brushes the same mountains. Merlot drifting from the river, mortal maidens met their moments. is my heart loved and hated. The blood of the clouds of sunset as you were fated to pretend. Farewell to my death, goodbye to the fears of my kin. I'm falling just like Lucifer and calling to logs through my visions. Our love remains. Our love remains. Our love remains.